Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Gentleman's Gains podcast. I am Andrew, and what we got here is our boy Sam in the flannel shirt and Karan in the black and red shirts.
Let's go.
And there he
Oh,
goes,
wow.
doing the spin
Let's
around.
go.
How
You
y'all?
can't see my name.
There you go. We
How
all
you
got
got-
one of those.
How you guys doing today?
I think we're all doing great.
Great. Yep.
Everybody's great.
Yeah,
Everything is great. The sun is shining.
fine. The
Yeah, thanks for tuning
fall weather's here.
Yes. That's why I'm wearing the flannel. I'm all ready for
Yep.
Yeah, it's all warm up. What am I saying? Tongue twister. Today we have a topic that we're going to talk about. It's all about our first time going to the gym and how we manage to be consistent and going to the gym 5 to 7 days a week on top of our priority lists, such as work schedules and stuff.
Quick summary. We don't.
We are just talking. We don't go.
No, we just, exactly. It's all fake.
It's just a saying.
Yeah,
We're just motivating for no reason.
exactly. It's all to make money.
Yes,
It's
we're
all,
promoting.
It's a little ruse.
We're one of those promoters.
To get famous.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You want to lose
need
fat? You don't do this.
We need an Under Armour sponsorship is what we need. No, but I don't know about you guys, like what your first times were. I guess I'll find out. But mine was like obviously playing sports, and 90% of it being football was like at some point you have to go to the gym. Like especially if you're playing, like I played right guard, left tackle most of my time. So if you're playing, anybody who knows those positions, like if you're playing on the line, there's a good chance that you go to the gym. Now, I will say I wish. Well, I don't wish, but I wonder what could have been if I'd actually gone to the gym like full out, because I started training seriously when I was like 19, probably. But I've been in the gym before that from football and whatever since probably about 14 or 15. But it was like a once a week kind of thing because I was still doing football training, right? So I didn't feel a need to actually like go and lift weights because I was already stronger than most of the people. So it's just because I'm naturally bigger, right? But I can remember my very first time in the gym, and that was at the YMCA. For those who don't know, the YMCA is like a little well, not little, like it's like a chain of gyms sponsored by the government in Canada. But it's not really like focused just on gym. Like you have like pools and
It's like a club, yeah.
It's pretty
it's
much
like
a family-oriented facility.
Yeah, it's a family-orientated facility is what it is. So you're not gonna see like, well, you might, but you're not gonna see like serious powerlifters or something there. It's just a place that you can work out. But I remember my exact first day in the gym, and I didn't know what I was doing at all. I was like, I'm gonna go lift some things, and so I can remember the program too because it wasn't really a program; it was just stuff I wanted to do. So I started with bench press, or I then went to overhead press, and then for some reason I made a complete U-turn and decided to start doing legs. So I went right into the leg press, and I was with either my dad or my mom, I don't remember. And then did like leg extensions, hamstring curls, and then I did like farmer's walks, just because I was just copying people in the gym, So I
Yeah.
had no idea what I was doing. But
It's
I remember
always
all.
like that.
Yeah, exactly. But I remember all my numbers. Like my bench press was pitiful. I think I had like I might have had like a 25 each side, on a 45-pound bar. But my overhead press was amazing for some reason. Like my first day in the gym, I did 135 for 2 reps, and I don't understand why. I'd never overhead pressed before. I was just like, I can do this, and
And were you doing it right?
yeah, that's the thing. Is like when I look back on like old photos and stuff, like I was like it wasn't a push press. I wasn't using my legs. Like I was just copying. Like I can. That's one of the nice things when I played football is that I could pick up on things just by watching once. So I just was like, watch this like super jacked dude just like lift it above his head. I was like, I can do that. And I was like 13, 14, or 15, and I was like, I was just gonna grab this bar and just whatever weight he had on it, I'm gonna do it. And I was like, oh, might be a little too hard, but I did it. And then my first leg press was, I was with my dad, yeah, was 800 pounds. And I was just leg pressing that for like 12. And then I was like, I don't need to work out. So after that day, I was like embarrassed because I didn't know those were like actually decent numbers. So I went to like football and I was like, oh, I worked out. I was kind of embarrassed to talk about it. And they were like, well, what'd you do? And I explained my workout. And they're like, well, that doesn't make sense. But like, what did you put up number wise? I was like, well, I did like a leg press, like 800 for 12. And they're like, you're like 14. Like, you shouldn't be allowed to do that. And so then I was like, oh, I'm just strong. I don't have to work out. So then I stopped working out. I did one day and I just gave up. I had no passion for it, you know? I was forced to go. So I was like, clearly I don't need this if I'm doing that already. Just skip the gym. I'll just keep playing football.
Yeah. 40 is kind of young age.
There are some people that are like naturally gifted when it comes to
yeah, exactly.
Like the genetically gifted with the strength that they end up getting that they never like they never notice.
No. Well, like for me, like I was never a strong sprinter. Like up until recently, like I couldn't run fast at all. I couldn't. I had no cardio, but like I could like pick up like couches and stuff, like just like awkward objects. Like I was always just strong, and I had a good sense of balance, and I had good like flexibility for somebody my size. Like I have weirdly good flexibility, so I was always happy with that. And that's how I got by playing football in a sport predominantly dominated by guys who are like bench pressing all the time. Granted, like these are 14-year-olds, right? But we were even at that age, like that was the age that like we went to play, like as Canadians went to go play Texas for like the like Texas versus Canada games or whatever. So like it was still serious football. It's just like you're young, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my exact first day in the gym, and I probably didn't see a gym until maybe like 2 or 3 years after that when I got personal training, and then that was like once a week. And then it wasn't another 2 years after that, probably, that like I got actually into the gym.
Yeah, going back to like being a teenager, I didn't experience like going into personal training or weights until I was like 14 or 15 in high school. They used to have just like just straight off like weightlifting and just gym classes all through high school, and that's what I've been doing since. But I never got into serious training until I ended up getting my first membership, which is Good Life in Mississauga. And before that, when I'm just like going around looking at all these machines, I remember trying to do like a squat, but it was like on a Smith machine where it's just not like it's an angle, it's more just straight down like what you see in Planet Fitness.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's I tried to do that, probably did like a 45. I could barely get to like an ATG or Astragrass. I couldn't even go like below. I can only go like barely parallel. So then same situation as you. Like whenever I go into the gym, I just go around and see what there is to use. The thing is with the bench though, we didn't have like a bench press at that time at school. We have like those it's one of those like machines where you have actual machines and you can like hook up the weights and everything. It's not like your typical bench thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So more of like an accessible, it's not accessible, but it's more of a supported machine where if you have like a free barbell and all that stuff. But that was like my favorite bench machine that I can use because it's safer. But then there are times where my classmates were just like playing around and then they just like go behind and they try to like push down the machine to see like how heavy it's going to be because I was just struggling and I was just wondering what's going on. But anyways, going on to like the Good Life days, I mean, on the first day, same thing, just going in and then just go around and just try out whatever I can try. Started doing cardio on the treadmill a little bit and then the typical just start cardio for like 10 minutes and then go down to the weight room. Try whatever, learn, and I'm exactly like the same thing as you, Sam. Like learning by just looking, not just by like reading or whatever. I just learned by like just how they do it, and then that's how I managed to like know everything. But you don't know the technique at that time. I was like 18 at the time when 18 or 19 at that time when I started going to the gym seriously, and just after that I just started getting hooked onto the gym, like just trying to go there like maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And then as I was moving forward, like using like supplements like protein, and then just like continue on and on everything.
Yeah, you were taking like baby steps essentially. Just
Exactly.
doing what everybody else does and just being like, well, give it a shot, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
More like I'm always like I said, independent. I just go in there and just try and train for
Yeah.
about an hour, and then just move on, and then do the same thing and just repeat. That's pretty much like what my general first experience is in an actual gym and being serious in training.
For me, I didn't like started gym right away after my recovery. So when I was 19 in 2000 like 18 2019, on my second floor I had a like empty room. So I ordered like bench press, boxing, punching bag and everything, zigzag bar. So I set up my own like personal gym, and then I was watching the videos and working out every day in the afternoon. So I kind of know how to work out. I was checking the video and I was doing that. But then I moved here for my studies. So my first experience, like real gym experience, was in like back in 2021 January. So me and my other roommate, who was serious about gym, he still is, he's completing. So Hardeep, that my friend, he got me into the gym. So our first membership was in Anytime Fitness, and for me, I'm like 5'10" or a little bit over 5'10", and that time I was only 84 pounds. I was nothing. So my first day at the gym, because he was with me, I felt little comfortable. I was still insecure. I know how to work out and how to use machine and everything, but it was so overwhelming for me because I was wearing like half sleeve. I'm like a bone structure, like a skeleton walking with clothes on.
Yeah.
So it was so insecure for me. So I knew how to work out and everything. Strength wise, I was good and everything. But it's just the pressure on me, like people are watching me, right?
Yeah.
And all the mirrors and everything. I didn't have a single mirror in my home gym. So I was working out peacefully. No
Yeah.
like body dysphoria or anything. I can't see my pump or anything. But in the gym, it was so overwhelming. But still, the workout was good and everything. But it was like too much pressure on me right now because all the mirrors and everything. Kind of gym wise, anytime was mid. I didn't like the equipment and everything, but it was like vibe was really good.
Nice.
So because I had a gym buddy, it was a little bit easier for me.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
then after that, I just got addicted to it.
Yeah, so like your experience is like almost the opposite of what me and Andrews was. Is like you were
Yeah,
doing the research, like, well, one, because you were just old enough to actually do the research. That's always helpful.
yeah,
But like you were doing the research at home and working out, so you kind of knew what you were doing. It was just the more the confidence of actually going to a public space
probably, yeah,
was
exactly.
the like the big hurdle, I
yeah.
will
So,
say.
so I started gym back in 2019, but I wasn't in the gym until 2021.
Yeah, you weren't in a public gym till
So,
21.
yeah,
Yeah,
There
that's a big thing for a lot
there's
of people.
always that fear when
yeah,
you first go into like a public setting, that
Absolutely.
when you walk around, you see all these like more experienced lifters in there, and then they look at you
Yeah.
like they are like, what the hell is this person doing? This guy doesn't
Hmm.
know how to like lift a weight or something. But I mean,
yep. Fear of judgment.
but like you got like a 180 where this person is like concerned about the person, and some, but you don't get a lot of people where they want to walk up to you and then tell you you're doing it right, but do it like this way, and maybe this will help you. You don't get a lot
Yeah.
of people like that because one, they don't want to interrupt your workout. Two, it kind of changes the vibe. Maybe thinking like if they interrupt your workout, then your plan just kind of like changed a
Falls
little
apart.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You feel little bad.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, yeah, right. So like that's one of the big things of going to a public gym for the first time. Like people are worried about being judged, and there's definitely that element. Like I mean, in any public space, right? You're gonna get judged, which is it's its own thing. You can say it's bad or good or whatever you
No.
want. It's just reality, right?
Yeah,
But it's funny because like some of the guys that you think might judge you are oftentimes like the ones that are gonna help you the most, like the biggest guys in the gym, pretty much.
Yeah.
right? And like the simplest thing you can do is like go up and ask a question, like, you know, and like like I said, my first gym experience was when I was 14, and it's like you're scared of everybody at 14. It doesn't matter how big you
Yeah.
are, you know.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I was about 6 foot at 14 years old, and like I was still scared. Like I didn't want to talk to anybody. I was like, Mom, Dad, like
Help me.
keep me away from everybody.
Yeah,
But
it's yeah.
you learn to like kind of overcome that, like,
Yeah.
and like, you know. And I remember like eventually when I actually started taking the gym seriously, like I still had like a family membership to the Y through my mom, and I had my high school gym, right? And that's where I first learned to start like lifting weights properly.
Yep.
When I was about 19 years old, actually, same as you. And like I was just watching, and the way I decided is because I knew I was gonna be done with football. So I was like, what else can I do? Like I'm a big guy. I don't want to be fat.
You
I
need to
like being strong.
maintain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was watching Game of Thrones clips, and I saw the mountain, and I saw this massive human being, and I was like, I want to be that dude.
People
I was,
notice the other thing in Game of Thrones.
yeah, I was like, I want to
Yes.
be that guy. And so
Yes.
I was like, I looked him up, and it's like he's this like professional strongman, this, that, the other thing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do everything that guy does. So
Yeah.
literally the next day in the gym, I looked up what he does, and I copied his deadlift to the letter. Of course, I wasn't like anywhere close. Like my first deadlift was like it was pretty good. My first deadlift for a first time person, never deadlifting before. I think I did 315 without a belt,
Frick.
and I just copied his form, like exactly, like rolling the bar up to the shins, like putting your
Mm.
stomach out of the way, kind of. And for reference, that's not something you necessarily want to do, but it worked for me, right? So
Yeah.
it's like,
It's different.
yeah,
It's all preference. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can approach any work, any exercise. Like,
exactly.
yeah.
I like, but I had a very good like functional movement pattern already from playing football for so long. Like I was fresh out of football. Like, you know, I was still fairly athletic, or however athletic a lineman can be. um, you know, so like I understood movement patterns and those concepts, right? So it was easy for my brain to wrap around that. It's not something I would like recommend everybody run into the gym and do. Be like, oh, I saw
Yeah.
the mountain deadlift. Like, let me go copy his form exactly and do that, right? But that's one of the nice things that Karan kind of brought up, right? Is like nowadays, especially if you're older, when you hit that like 19 years old, you know how to look stuff up, like you know how to
Yeah.
use like, you Google and YouTube.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
like a wealth of information, right? Like when I started at 14, like yeah, Google, YouTube was all a thing, but like I didn't have a phone, so
Yeah.
like everything I did was copying other people, right?
Same thing.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, there was
Uh,
not. Go ahead.
It
Yeah,
depends on the sports, right? Uh,
yeah,
like you said, you are playing football. For me, I didn't like wanted to go to gym because I used to run 1600-meter and 400-meter and playing volleyball. But those sports doesn't require you to go to the gym, right? You can run outside and everything. So it depends on the sports you choose in the high school as well.
yeah, of
That
course,
how
yeah,
soon you'll be starting the gym as well.
yeah. I think we both. I think that touches on a good point where it's like, and this is kind of cycle into that whole discipline thing, is like finding your reason to go,
Yeah.
right? Like for me, it was literally like, I want to be a big guy like that guy, and that's it's literally not stopped. Like I'm literally just like still trying to be that, and but like for other people, it's like, oh, I want to be a faster sprinter. So you look
Yeah.
up things that pertain to that, and that's how you set those like goals for yourself, right? And it could
Yep.
be looking like somebody, or being as strong as somebody, being as fast as somebody, or this, that, or the other thing, right? And it's just those little goals that you can keep as like a mental image in your mind.
Exactly.
That's a huge thing. So that's exactly how I got started in the gym, right? Was literally having that mental image of just being like an overwhelmingly strong person, and just being like, I can do that.
Yep.
Yeah, being in the like in the discipline category, I mean, having a goal that will just keep you drive and grind throughout the week just to reach like even though that you got that goal, I mean there is all you're still continuing. I mean whether you like reached your peak of how much you want to weigh to be like a big bodybuilder or something, and then after that you reach that, then you move on to like just staying lean. As you get older, you wanted to maintain that figure, because like you never know when you reach that age, it just like it just goes away in an instant, and
Yep.
then you have, and then the hard work becomes even harder to try and keep that. But maintaining that schedule and being disciplined just to try and like do like at least a 45-minute workout. You know you're going to do well at the end of that workout. You're going to have a good mentality after that workout, whether you wake up early in the morning, you feel stressed, you go in there, you go to work, all that stuff, but then you still manage to go to the gym. That's just like a big accomplishment right there. Just prepping every day and try to not think about like things. Just move, just get your stuff, get your shit in.
Just take the week one day at a time, essentially.
Like you said, baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like we've kind of touched on just having like for a lot of people like I know what works for me the best is to have a consistent schedule. Like,
Yep.
Monday I do this, Tuesday I do this, Wednesday's off, Thursday I do this, Friday I do this, Saturday, Sunday is one of these two things. I do this or that or the other thing. And it's kind of, and so I know I get those 4 days in, and on the weekend I get some activity in. It just doesn't matter what that activity is, right? But for some people, their schedules aren't set in stone.
No.
So having that like mental image of what you want to achieve is even more necessary than having just your schedule, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's easy for us when it's like, okay, I work 5 to 10 every day, and then on the weekends I work 5 to 1:30 or whatever I work, right?
Yeah.
That's a set schedule, right? But if you're the kind of person where your schedule changes on a weekly, monthly, daily basis, even it's more about having that mental image in your head, like I want to be the mountain from Game of Thrones, and you just keep that, stick it in your head, and you're like, this is my goal. What can I do to achieve that? So like even when you're tired, like you're still driven by that image, right?
Yep.
And like for me psychologically, it's like if I don't meet that, if I'm not doing what it takes to reach that mental image, then like I've only let myself down.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh
Yeah.
how am I gonna let myself down?
Just that one day that you just mess up, you just feel down.
Yeah.
And then later on you struggle to try and make up for that in the same week on which day that you want to like just do it.
But it's also okay to like have those days.
Yeah.
Right? Like everybody's gonna have them. You know, like everybody's gonna have those ups and downs for sure.
That's part of the deal.
That's part of the challenge, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember.
So,
I remember there was like a quote. One of the clips that I was watching that saying something about like being tired. Like being tired is being part of the game. In order to be like a high achiever, being tired is always part of it. So you gotta like just get through that struggle.
It doesn't matter if you are tired.
Yeah.
You just have to get the day through. You go there, work out, get your day done. You just have to get the work done. Even if you are tired, just do a little bit, but don't just skip it.
Yeah, you got to gut check yourself, right? That was something that was big in football all the time. Was that yes, you could train as hard as you want. You could do fourth quarter drills all the time. But when it came to that fourth quarter and you were dog tired, you played both ways. You're getting beat up the whole time, you know? Which sucks.
I know.
Yeah. The only person, like your coaches can't check that for you. Your coaches have prepared you the best they can.
And it's all on you.
Or hopefully, so it's like, it's that inner gut check that is sometimes the key to success, right? So it does come down a lot to just yourself saying, like, I have to do this. Not that you can do it, that you have to do it, I think is the better mental approach to it. And then there's all sorts of different techniques to help you get to that approach. So
for dedication, I just use 3 simple methods. You gotta set your goal, you gotta find why and how, and just have a vision. That's it. Just find why and how, have a vision, and set a goal.
If I want to bench press more, it's like, every morning or every afternoon or whatever time of day it is whenever I have time. It's like instead of watching like gaming videos, I'm watching uh like bench press videos. I'm watching how can I improve my bench technique, weight, or this or that or the other thing, right?
Yeah.
For the time being, it's like maybe it's like improving your squat or improving your deadlift or improving your athleticism, losing weight, this, that, or other thing. Like I just surround myself with content
Yeah.
or people that support that idea. Like even if it's watching instead of watching your normal show, you watch boxing or something. It's like I want
Yeah.
to be a better fighter, so that's all I watch.
Yeah.
And then you learn. And it's like for me, I see that and I'm like, if I'm watching another guy bench press more than me online, I'm like, how am I gonna
Yeah.
lose to this guy, you know? Like why is he teaching
Yeah.
me? I should be the one teaching him. So that's
Yeah.
how I do it.
That was a good episode though, but a lot of good pointers and everything from all you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just want to
Yeah.
give. Go ahead.
Sorry. I was just gonna like mention that we're gonna cut it short just because we're missing one. Like I was gonna say like we have to go. Just gonna say like hey like shorter
It was
episode today,
yeah.
guys. We're missing one of our key members here, but we'll be back again for another week. Good old
Yeah.
podcast vibes. That wasn't my actual outro. That's just what I was gonna mention.
No, but I just want to say, just want to take take a little few minutes just to shout out to the viewers and the listeners. Much appreciated to all you guys for watching us on YouTube. We are also on Spotify and other podcast platforms. All our links are on Linktree. You can check our Instagram. That's where our link is, and follow us. I'm not gonna say Twitter, X, X or something like that.
X now
Twitter.
or something like that. Something weird, you know.
Yeah, so we got all our we got all our social platforms, and just stay tuned for the next episode. We'll keep you we'll keep you updated, and thank you for listening, and thank you for watching, and we will take it easy. You all take it easy too.
Thank you
Yep.
for
Appreciate your
listening.
support. Yep.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy Big Dick B. You know who he is, right? One of our most loyal listeners. My boy B Drill. All right. He knows who he is.
All right.
All right.
Peace, guys.
Everybody have a good one.
Yeah, have a good one. Sayonara.